All right, here with Maury head football coach Dyrri McCain. His Commodores win it 55-0 over Indian River in the state semifinals. Coach, you're moving on to the state finals, which was the goal I know way back in January for your team. 14-0, you'll play the Stonebridge or Matoka, which is still finishing up as we talk here now. But you were almost a play away from going 3 and out, 2 possessions to begin this game. 77-yard TD strike from Montoya Newkirk to LeBron Bunn. But I think the story of the day is special teams. You blocked 2 punts. I believe it was Ari Watford and Kendall Daniels, the scoop up and run back by Corey Jacobs. That third phase of the game was mighty pivotal today, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what we've been playing all year. Good on all 3 phases. I think a lot of talk gets about our offense and the points we score, but our defense getting stopped. So shout out to our defense for getting the shutout. But yeah, special teams stepped up to the plate. I think the guys came ready to play. I was proud of them for the way that they came to play and how they finished the game. We're a team that just knows that nothing's automatic. I mean, when you get there, man, I think we've done a good job as a program of learning from our losses. So just knowing that today wasn't automatic, regardless of whoever thought that the score was going to be what it was. And then even next Saturday, it's not automatic. So we got to come and play on all 3 phases in order to win the game.
And to go with that, Indian River's got a good football team, obviously a really terrific defensive front led by Jordan Harris. But were you surprised they tried to quick kick you against? And I guess the film study paid off for your guys up front. They probably saw that throughout the year on some games as you prepared for this matchup, correct?
Yeah, I think the guys knew what was coming. But it's a testament to the guys, to the kids. They lock in, they focus. That's what it's been this year. But again, that's what happens when you lose those games straight. But the majority of those guys that's doing it is the Devontae Floyds, the Fred Johnsons, the Melvin Lowe's, Christian Murphys, Andrew McClungs. Those guys been around. So they understand that it's not automatic. So it's getting those freshmen and those younger guys to kind of understand that it's not. For the freshmen that's coming in, they look at it like it's just supposed to happen because that's what the program has been. So, but when you got that mix and those older guys kind of knowing that, we know to focus on all 3 phases. And those guys do a good job of leading.
A lot of different guys stepped up today. You mentioned the special teams aspect. We talked about it back in your Highland Springs win where Andrew McClung's leg was big. You've got return guys. You had the first 2 playoff games, kickoff returns to begin the game for scores. How exciting is it as a coach? You mentioned those headline guys. We know about the Johnsons, the Watfords, the Melvin Lowe's, the Devontae Floyds, but to have someone new each week, even today, a couple uncovered players that you guys know about, Corey Jacobs, Hunter Collins, make plays and step up for you throughout this game and sort of make their mark, if you will, on a big stage.
It's the program. It's the program. But you talk about those guys, but they've been – they got a lot of time last year. You talk about the Hunter Collins, you talk about Corey Jacobs, Leslie Hines, that most people don't talk about, but they got a lot of time last year. We would be up on opponents, and those guys, get their shine, get their play, and they played in playoff games last year. So this stage to Corey Jacobs and the Hunter Collins and Leslie Hines, those guys, they've been there before. They've played on that stage, and some of the freshmen that got the opportunity today, they'll be in the same boat moving forward. So, it's just the program. It's the way that it moves.
Sure. Come on, for let you run. I know at halftime you're up by almost 50, 49-0, but there's got to be a message in there. I'm thinking because third quarter you came out a lot better than last week against Warwick, where you only had 1 play. Was that just to not let your foot off the gas? The subs come in here and your time to step up here. And what was kind of the talk about? Even though you're cruising and you're playing a pretty close to complete game, although the offense didn't have to do a whole lot given the situation of the game.
I think it was a little mix of both. I think last week kind of took into account, and they were reminded of that at halftime. And I know Coach Prev talked about it earlier on in the week about coming out faster in the second half, even though we're up by a lot. I think the guys responded to that message because it was told to them. And I also think it's young guys trying to prove themselves. And that's why it's hard to, it's not trying to run up the score or anything like that, but you give Matt Williams those opportunities, kind of see what you got moving forward. You give the Eli Moss, who's a younger kid, the opportunity to see what we got. We had a freshman, Liam, who got a 5-yard stop catch, and we had a couple running backs who were young. So, it's their time for opportunity. I think we had Sam, who's a freshman, got to get a sack. So, when they're being productive in these games moving forward, those guys aren't going to be afraid the stage isn't going to be too big.
Lastly, your offense is putting up record numbers. Your defense has 15 TDs scored this year, and I think now 7 shutouts. Your special teams has showed up in some key spots. You've conquered 7-5-7 challenges like Warwick and Indian River the last couple weeks and other teams you've played the last few years. You've beaten Dinwiddie and Highland Springs, state champions. There's one more challenge still awaiting you at UVA next week. I know there's probably some unfinished business, and be honest with me, you'd rather see Stonebridge because you have some unfinished business from 2 years ago. It'd be the rubber match. Every 2 years you seem to play them. You beat them in 19, you lost to them in 21. Give me your thought on just one step away from completing the mission.
That's what it's been about. And I think that the year that we've had through the regular season and through now, who cares about, I know people talked about the way we played in October, averaging 80 points and 6 shutouts and all that type of stuff. It's not going to matter if we don't get it done next Saturday. Nobody's going to remember that. Nobody's going to talk about it. Who cares? So the important job is getting it done next week. If it's Stonebridge, even better. So we're ready for whoever wants to come out on that side. And I'm pretty sure they'll be ready for us. But it's something that we've been working towards. And we want to be back there where we feel like we deserve to be because we put in the work, not just the players or the coaches, but it's been a lot of work that's been put in. So we deserve to be there, and we can't wait till December 9th.
Well, congrats on the win. We'll see you next Saturday, December 9th at UVA, and all the best.
Thank you.